This is weird. Like the positioning of my eyes and the actual camera, which is right here, because I'm looking at myself as I'm talking. But anyway, I'm gonna just talk like how I talk. And this just came to me today. It was a combination of something that happened last night with me and my husband, which I won't put on blast, and something in a podcast slash YouTube video that I was listening to today with the Perrys. If you haven't listened to their podcast or been to their channel, go and see. Especially if you're a believer, you'll be intrigued. But anyway, I've just come to realize that social media is the new fairy tale. And piggybacking off of what happened last night. So something happened between me and my husband. And if you're in a relationship, you know that it's just not always perfect. And so we ended up just getting into an argument last night. I ain't gonna say what it was about. Just know that it was an argument. And of course, I woke up this morning. Yeah, I did my best to not be angry before I went to bed last night, and I talked to the Lord about it. And but I still woke up thinking about it. And as the day went on, and I was listening to that podcast, watching their interview, listening to their YouTube podcast on with the Perrys, it just really got me thinking about how social media, we hear it all the time, but when you go through real life, it just reminds you that it's fake. It's a fairy tale. And I say it's the new fairy tale because there is a saying that, you know, when someone gets in a relationship or when somebody gets married, it's like, okay, yeah, she finally got her fairy tale. She finally got her knight in shining armor, and now they can ride off into the sunset. Or, you know, the cliche, when someone gets married, I'll just say this. A lot of times, before you really go through stuff in life, but particularly with relationships, especially as girls, I don't know about guys, but if you grew up watching Disney movies, that becomes like the standard and the goal, and it's what we're brainwashed to think how relationships should be. It's just like, okay, once I get married and once my Prince Charming comes, and life is just gonna be great, and yeah, that's just it. We still have that, but now social media has become the new Disney in that aspect. We see all these pictures and all these posts of famous people that we just know of course, you know, celebrities and things like that. But we also see people that we do know, people in your personal circle. You've met them in real life, and you see them on social media. You see them on whatever platform that you're on. I think the closest thing that I've gotten hooked to has been Instagram. But even still, like, I'll be on it. I don't post like that the way I used to, but I like to be on it because I like going on there for inspiration. And it goes into what I'm saying. It's been times where I've seen people that I grew up with, people who I went to high school with, and I'll see the stuff, the life that they're posting, that they're living. And I won't necessarily do the comparison thing, but it'll be like, dang, that's just it. That's beautiful. That's great. And then something will happen like last night between me and my husband. And it'll be like, social media ain't real. And thank God for the real moments. Like, if, you know what I'm saying? If I see a family, a particular family that I know, when they post stuff, I'm just like so inspired. I'm so inspired because it's just like, yes, it's so good to see a strong family unit come together with a man and a woman and the children, and like they're, especially if they're a kingdom couple, like they're believers. Oh, that's great. And I'll find myself being like in awe and inspired. And there's nothing wrong with being inspired, but I have to remember that they go through the same stuff that me and my husband went through last night. I'm sure they have arguments. Their kids aren't always well behaved. They ain't always smiling every single time that they pass each other. And you know what I'm saying? Like, even the posts, and it's great that if a man posts about his wife all the time, and vice versa, if a wife posts about her husband all the time, about how they love each other, like, you know, that's wonderful. It should be like that. But it's really easy as the person watching to really start to believe that that's real, unless you know them like that. If you're family and, you know, you be going over their house and things, then you really haven't seen them when they're in their raw, when they're going through the hard times. And so the way that came to me today was just so, I don't even know what the word is. It was so revelationary to me, if that's a word. Because it is. Social media has become what everybody thinks that everything should be. And there's nothing wrong with relationship. There's nothing wrong with standards and goals and having an image and a vision of what you want your life to look like. But I think we need to get a good grasp on reality. And I think I added a Q in there. A good grasp on reality. And that's not to say we need to be pessimistic or anything like that, or just every time we see somebody post something good, you know, that ain't real. I bet you they had an argument this morning. I'm not saying be like that. But when you start believing that their life is always like that, to the point to where it makes you upset, to where when struggles come in your life, I'll say it like this. You shouldn't compare your real life to whatever you see on social media, because it's just not 100% legit all the time. As a solution, I think the best thing for us to do, number one, is to recognize when we're becoming a little bit too consumed with social media. When we're becoming, and we know it, a good way to test yourself is to try to put your phone down for an hour and see how many times you try to pick up your phone to see how often you're scrolling or going to that social media page. That's a good check-in. That's number one. Number two, know that it's okay that your life isn't perfect, and that it's normal that your life isn't perfect, and that struggles in life happen. Number three, even if what somebody is posting is good, it doesn't mean it's good all the time. So you shouldn't feel bad about it if your life doesn't seem good all the time. So that's some food for thought, but those are for sure some practical tips on how we can start to really be more present with reality and not what's posted on all these platforms. There's a reason why, I think there's a reason why it's called the cloud. When you're up in the cloud somewhere, you're in fantasy land. You're in La La Land. And La La Land isn't true. I haven't seen the movie. But y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Come back down to earth. Stop being in the clouds all the time. And again, nothing wrong with wanting to get inspiration, but don't let what you're seeing as inspiration make you feel bad if you're not living that way all the time. So, yeah, I hope that helps somebody. And it's gonna do all of us some good. This is a bonus. Number 4. One really good way to become present and to just get some quiet in your life is to just walk outside in nature, even if it's just right outside your porch, with nothing in your ears, nothing in your hand, no phone, no nothing, and just stand outside and look around. Look up at the sky, look up at the hills that are around you, and just be in nature for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, then work up your way to 60 seconds. Before you know it, it'll be 5 minutes. Before you know it, you'll be like, I need some quiet time. You go outside and be out there for however long you need and feel totally at ease and just fine in nature and in silence. It's good for us. Let's be grounded. You'll be surprised how much it helps. Those little things like that will help you out in a huge way. So I love y'all, and be safe. I pray God protect y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.